What's
Alright.
up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another
Bobby,
episode
how the hell are y'all?
of Amusement Mile. We are excited to come to you guys today. We have a great show for y'all, and we have a lot of topics we have to get into. Many of the tech and
Absolutely.
gaming variety. And why don't we just jump right into the headline topic, which is, of course, Valve entering the handheld gaming chat with the Steam Deck. And
I am so excited.
I guarantee I'm more excited than you, because I don't think you reserved the highest tier model that they are offering.
No, I reserved the second highest.
The second highest.
So I'm sorry, everyone. I have to admit something. I'm a fake gamer. I don't play video games. I don't buy the highest tier of anything that comes out because I'm worried in case of it flopping.
Well, you already might as with that argument, man. You might as well go all in. You're already planning to invest at least somewhat $529 into something.
My don't get me wrong, I'm still excited as hell for it, but ergonomically it looks questionable. I'm not sure. I was talking to a friend, Ethan. If you're in the chat, say hi. I was talking to him, and he said that he doesn't want to make an opinion about it until it's in his hands, and I really agree with that. I really like that mindset where it's like I really can't judge a book by its cover. I really can't judge a controller's feel until it's in my hands.
Well, yeah, I understand that. I understand that impulse, but the fact that this thing is gonna have a dock, right? And not only that, it has Bluetooth support.
It's gonna have a dock.
It's gonna have a dock. Valve is also selling separately their own proprietary dock, but they also said, which I'm a big fan of, it'll work with any USB-C dock. If you just want to buy your own instead.
Wait, so you're telling me you could use it on the Switch dock?
In theory, yes.
That's fucking rich.
This is a big flex on Nintendo. So my argument with that is okay, people like the Switch more because the button layout is it feels better, and also the controllers on the Switch are detachable. But the Switch does not have Bluetooth support. It only has support for the Joy-Con pairing.
Yeah, and initially when the leaks for the Switch Pro had come out, the only every other box was checked for the leaked specs, except for Bluetooth compatibility and 4K. And so it was what people were excited for the new model of the Switch, but didn't happen, which is so unfortunate.
Well, there was also a couple other things, if I'm understanding. They were also expecting a better CPU, so the actual processing power was better as well. Maybe a different sort of graphic solution, maybe the ability to plug this into an external GPU instead of relying on the built-in one in the Switch. At least even increased RAM size. I was really happy that the Steam Deck was showing 16 gigs of DDR5, which is the only one of its kind that has DDR5 in it currently. And the Switch is still rocking a anemic 4 gigs of DDR4. And
this is me physically trying to prevent myself from making a Dance Dance Revolution joke. I'm trying.
You're trying. I appreciate you trying. But I just looked at the side-by-side comparison of the Switch next to the Steam Deck, and honestly, Nintendo should be kind of embarrassed. And I understand. I've seen leaks of the Steam Deck from before. This whole thing happened. This exchange between Valve and Nintendo, and in hindsight, in the whole idea of the 4D chess game, I see that Valve was playing 4D chess, and they were very much waiting for Nintendo to announce theirs first, so they could respond and just be like,
absolutely, because say if the Switch OLED is like the first of a different models, and there's a better one coming down the line. Steam was biding their time, and once they announced this, saw that it didn't meet up for the it didn't match the wants of the consumers. They were like, all right, time to drop this bomb on the market. And now, even if Nintendo had the higher quality model prepared with like Bluetooth support, 4K or what have you, it's gonna look like they're on the tailwind of Steam. So Steam is Valve is fucking ruthless, and they are going to win this war. They played their cards so well.
Like, I think Nintendo is honestly, like, anyone who hasn't seen like the spec sheet of this thing, and like, even if like you're just comparing like hardware specs and like just like looking at the spec sheets of both the Switch relative to the Steam Deck, like even if you're just looking at that, like Nintendo is probably in for the fight of their life, because like I don't know if you like I looked at the market share numbers for like all the consoles between Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo this morning, just because I was curious, like where they're currently at. Currently between like PS4s and PS5s, Sony currently has almost half of the console market share cornered. It has over 47% of the market share of console gaming cornered.
Goodness gracious.
And Nintendo is next.
Understandable, but still.
Nintendo is next down on the ring, right? They have currently a little bit over 32%, so they're like they're competitive, you know. Xbox like is where it's really not looking good for like the Xbox platform in terms of like competitiveness, because they're rocking only 20% of the market share between the console marketplace. So, right. But I think that goes more into like Xbox is sort of like becoming more of a PC platform the more they sort of evolve, because like
ever since kind of assimilating into Microsoft, which is before Xbox was like computers, so they're kind of like assimilating, which is interesting to see.
Well, it's like I think like the Xboxes. I think Linus Tech Tips talked about this before. He was like, I think the Xbox Series generation of Xboxes is going to be the last generation of Xboxes. Because that's what the series. He said that's what the series name sort of means, right? It's the series. It's like Xbox is a series of products. Like it's like you got Microsoft, and then you got all your PC stuff that you do on Windows, and then you have a device known as the Xbox that is literally just meant to play games on it. But at what point? But at what point does Microsoft just acknowledge that the Xbox has the same capabilities as a PC, and just let you?
Yeah, at that point, it's just they're just building PCs for the consumer market.
And going off of that, like the Steam Deck, like it is advertised as a handheld, and it's advertised as a direct competitor to the Switch, but like going beyond just like looking at surface level stuff, it is for all intents and purposes a PC, like a portable PC. Like and from Valve's own mouth, it can do anything. It can do
PC,
anything.
Meaning portable computer.
It can do anything a PC does. So this is essentially a computer that you could take with you on the go. This is essentially a tablet, a 7-inch tablet. Like that's essentially what it is. That just plays AAA titles. That's what it is. That's what's amazing to me. Like this is a PC that you can just take on the go with you. Like it's probably not optimized for like people who want like a laptop to like work on, but like in terms of like just web browsing and like watching YouTube videos or like watching media and like having a general media player in the background too, like this is a very compelling value, especially to people who already are like heavily invested in like the PC gaming space, like you and me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're more so of a. I mean, I still consider you more so of a console gamer because, like, I do think you play your PS5 more than me.
I'm a console player I'm forced to be a console player right now for the
Well, yes.
foreseeable future.
Well, yes, but even before that, like, I think you played your PS5 and your Switch more than you played, like, combined more than you played played on your PC, at least.
No, those first couple weeks I got back into Isaac. It was literally get home, sit at the desk type of thing.
Well, yeah, that's more. Isn't that more so related to like streaming though? Like that's primarily your use of the PC.
That's fair. Okay.
And that's like, I really wish you reserved the 512 gig because like, this thing has another unspoken value to, especially to you, not so to me, but especially to you, because you can actually like once you get that capture card, stream directly from the Stream Deck to your current PC. Like, do you?
I mean, it's another $5. I can refund it.
Do you understand how vast the performance difference is from between streaming on the PC and streaming from the PC that you're gaming on and streaming from a different PC and like streaming to the one you're gaming on? Performance difference night and day. Like, it's not even the same thing. Because that way the PC you're streaming from is doing 100% of the work. And then you could just game from another. Like, it's amazing. Like, I'm so excited for this. That's, like, this might make me get back into streaming because of that benefit. Because I just needed, like, a second PC to, like, take care of all the performance sucking things out of, like, what comes with, like, you know, oh, CPU is tied to Twitch, CPU has to encode, all this stuff. Now, there's dedicated hardware that can do all of that stuff, and I can just worry about playing the game. That to me is just so amazing. And another,
it sounds awesome.
Another like sort of like thing that like is unspoken, I think, is like yeah, like people are like, oh, just buy a PC because like this is a PC anyway, so why can't you just buy a PC as opposed to like investing like $400 to $650 in this thing? And the answer is maybe people like don't sit down. Maybe they're always on the go. Maybe they need a portable sort of game console for like when they're on the work, like especially if you travel frequently, especially if like you like always go like travel for work, like you fly a lot. Like this is like seems like a perfect deal for you. Like this seems amazing. And someone else was talking to me about like the potential drawbacks of the Steam Deck, and one of them is that yeah, it's the base model is the same as the Switch OLED in terms of storage size. They both have 64 gigs of storage, but the difference is if you're doing all the Switch has the ability at least to do physical games, whereas the Steam Deck is an all digital console. Like you're downloading all games digitally.
Yeah, so technically it's a lot less storage in that.
So storage will be a problem a lot faster on the Steam Deck than it will be on the Switch. At least on the Switch, you have the option to buy physical games, and it uses not even close to the same amount of storage on it. But like that's gonna be a real problem for people who play on the 64 gig model of the Stream Deck. They're gonna like if they're a hardcore gamer, they have a lot of games in their Steam library, their storage is gonna fill up fast. And also it's a different form of storage as well. It's EMC storage as opposed to an NVMe drive, which starts with the 256 gig model. And EMC storage is basically the same thing as the Switch has. It's much slower storage. So you're going to be experiencing much longer load times as well with getting that 64 gig model. People already talk about like long load times on the Switch and how the Switch is already showing its age in terms of hardware. So I think the bare minimum I would recommend for the Stream Deck is the 256 gig model. I would not recommend the $399 one, because that, if you're playing AAA titles on it, you're not going to have as good of an experience as you would on the next tier up. So there's that.
Good thing I already reserved one of the middle ones.
I don't know if I actually don't know if they're allowing you to reserve anymore, as far as I know, because like I refreshed the page on SteamDeck.com the second that the reserves went live, and it looked like Steam had crashed for like I think it did crash for like a second. Then I refreshed and like I placed my order, and I wasn't sure if it went through.
I had to pull it up on the laptop because my Steam app on my phone was just broken.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to get it done on my phone. But like that may not be the case for everybody. But like, I'm so excited for this.
I had no
like,
luck on
like, dude, like, imagine like another value of this is like if you're friends with like with someone, or if you have a PC and nothing else, like we're lucky. I kind of like disappear into my whole like, oh, we have multiple fallbacks in case one of these fails. Like a good position you're in is you have a PS5, you have a Switch, so do I. Like in case our PC fails, which in your case it did, you have the luxury of having multiple fallback options to play games on. Like you're not just like left without anything to play games on. Like you have a Switch and a PS5 to go to in case something fails, which is not the case for everyone. Like everyone's like a lot of people are lucky to even own one platform. So we're in a good position where we can play on any platform. So like even like the danger, the choice between like buying a Switch or buying a Steam Deck is not really one we have to make, because we get the best of both worlds, right? Because we get the performance of the Steam Deck and the exclusives of Nintendo. So like we really don't have to we really don't have to make a choice at this point. So I think that's really cool. Also on the dock, in docked mode, I think one of my main gripes with the Switch OLED was that it didn't support 4K in docked mode. And
that was the big thing.
That was the big thing people were upset about, myself included. And the Steam Deck has basically the same resolution and the same screen size as the Switch OLED, but the difference is it not only supports 4K in docked mode, it supports 4K 120 frames, 4K 120 hertz, and
best of both worlds.
8K 60 hertz. Which, like, that's, in terms of future-proofing, like, getting 8K in there as, like, a solution, like...
That's a big step.
Like, Jared, show me an 8K monitor or an 8K TV for a reasonable price. For, like, less than $3,000.
Got him right here. It's the white void. That is the sun shining in from my skylight.
Like,
because there isn't one. They're ludicrously expensive.
I remember like a couple years ago when I was shopping for my 4K TV, looking at 8K TVs just to see how much more expensive they were. The only 8K one that was available back in 2019 when I was shopping for a 4K,
grand?
It was legit. I am not joking. It was $60,000 for the only consumer 8K TV available at the time.
No!
That is more than most people make in a year for a TV. That is such an astronomical amount to spend on something that is not a necessity. That is insane. But like I'm just so excited about the possibilities that the Stream Deck offers. And I'm excited to play PC games on the go. Like imagine me going over to your house and being like, "Oh, put on the dock. Boom, we're playing Left 4 Dead. Hook up a couple controllers. We're playing Left 4 Dead local co-op." Like I'm so excited for that to happen. Even Back 4 Blood. I'm so excited for Back 4 Blood.
Oh, we can't wait. We over here at JK Amusements, we cannot wait for Back 4 Blood. It looks like a blast and a half.
I am so excited. I can't wait for this Steam Deck.
Personally, I'm excited to play I'm excited to play Binding of Isaac in bed or like wherever I'm going, but I've put so much time into my Steam file of it. I have over close to 300 hours now. I don't want to start over on like a Switch if I'm like away for a weekend. I don't want to be like, "Oh, time to play some Binding of Isaac," and I'm like hundreds of hours behind in unlockables. Like It's perfect. I'm very excited for
And
it.
that's another benefit. Like, whereas if you bought a Switch OLED and you already have a PC, you'd have to buy all the games you want again. Whereas with the Steam Deck, you have cross-buy because it's all through Steam.
Yep.
So it just works. That's the whole thing with Steam. It just works. Like, with the Steam Deck, like, everything is very simple, and you pick it up and you just play games. Like, it's just simply how it works. And also, like, it's running on SteamOS, which is Linux-based. But because it's a PC, you can install Windows on it if you want. So if you don't like SteamOS, you don't vibe with it, cool. Install Windows, because you can do that. I'm just so excited for the Steam Deck, man. I can't wait for it to come out in December. I am buying the second I get the email. I don't care. I don't care.
Still waiting for them to announce Valve's Gabe Cube.
No, that'll come out right after Sega announces the Dreamcast 2.
Oh,
which will be in like
no.
2073 or something like that.
Wait. Who... When was this? It was like last year or something where Sega had like a big announcement.
Oh yeah, their big announcement. You were like Dreamcast 2,
Dreamcast 2, and it was these.
It was the little, they're Sega Micro Game Gears. That's what they are. These little shitty McDonald's toys.
And they were like literally $60 glorified McDonald's toys that would each play like one game, and they were like, collect them all. They're all different colors.
So total, if you want all of them, you'd have to spend $200. To get these little dookie little like Sega game things. It's so ridiculous.
Oh no, I was so bummed that day. Kevin was laughing his ass off.
Peeing my pants because of you said Dreamcast 2 and they gave you McDonald's toys. Oh.
One can hope.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So in closing up on this topic, Valve, they've come a long way from the Steam Link.
That's another thing. A lot of people are like, "What if this is a new Steam Link?" And Valve, Gabe Newell himself said, "We're in this for the long haul." Like, they're taking. I watched like an interview with him that he did with IGN. He said, "We're taking a loss. We're taking a loss on making and releasing the Steam Deck because we want to further the PC ecosystem." Like, we're investing ourselves in this. Like, this isn't just like a profit thing. This is like for the future of PC gaming.
I keep looking over at my Steam Link, and I'm just like, it's sitting there.
It's a trophy at this point.
Yeah, it's a trophy paperweight.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, so excited. So is the Steam controller. All right, you want to do the next one? I talked a lot about the Steam Deck.
Yeah, no worries. I just gotta scroll up. Give me a hot second.
I didn't have a lot to say about the next one anyway.
Neither do I. But let me pull up this article. Evidence is piling up. Netflix wants to be the Netflix of games. Great title. So it's looking like Netflix is trying to get into like a video game market. Netflix has dipped a toe in gaming on occasion, and they've seen great success with the choose your own adventure movies like Black Mirror Bandersnatch, which I played that like all the way through. Like playing, like doing every option is like 3 to 4 hours of your time.
I mean,
like,
that's sort of that could be considered a game, I guess. It's more of an interactive movie. Like, you remember? Do you know what FMV games are?
Actually, I'm not sure I do.
Full motion video. So like basically an interactive movie. So this could be considered an FMV game.
Oh, like I think it's called Complex.
Complex.
I think I have a FMV on.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I have 2 of them, Complex and Erica.
Oh, I meant to play Erica. I never got into it.
I still haven't played it either. I'm gonna play both of them because they both look kind of spooky. So I'm gonna play both of them this coming October.
Gotcha. But yeah, like, what else has Netflix done that's like gaming oriented? I think it's just Bandersnatch, right?
It's Bandersnatch. They also had a Bear Grylls Choose Your Own Adventure.
That's right, the Man versus Wild thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are you surprised by this? By Netflix getting into gaming?
I mean, not really, because, I mean, when we think of Redbox, we all remember Redbox?
Oh, they actually just got rid of their game service thing.
Yeah, they were the Netflix before Netflix, and they had a gaming service, and Netflix devs were like, how can we shit on Redbox more? That's how I see it. Not really. I'm just making a joke here. But
I mean, I think that's they're not shitting on them. They're just driving them out of the space. Like eventually, I think Redbox is going to go the way of Blockbuster. Like it's just people don't want to buy physical DVDs anymore. It's just easier to sit at home and stream everything.
An Axios source said to think of the upcoming service, which would be offered to Netflix subscribers as a smaller Apple Arcade bundle that would include both licensed Netflix IPs and games commissioned from indie studios.
I mean, if that's
so it's less of what Redbox did, where they were bringing in titles for rent, and more of like they're like trying to become like
their own like an in-house developer, not an indie studio by any means. Netflix has more money than most companies at this rate.
Misspoke.
But like, I actually don't have high hopes for that because like, if Amazon's game record is anything to go by, do you know their first like blockbuster game? Actually, they released it. It's called Chivalry, produced by like Amazon Games. It flopped hard. It flopped hard. And there's a reason you never heard of it either. But like, I don't know, these like big like video streaming sites like even Google, like who like owns YouTube, like it's just like Stadia is like dog water. Like you don't the only reason you buy Stadia is if like you literally have like no other option and no games at all. Like, that's the only reason you buy Stadia. I don't know. I just don't have high hopes for this Netflix, like, original gaming thing. Mostly because, like, they're so heavily invested in movies that they literally have to catch up to, like, Sony, Microsoft, all of them. Like, even Stadia. Like, Stadia already has a larger foothold than Netflix in this space. And that's when you know that you're in for a rough ride.
Yeah, that's when you know you're starting in 8th place in Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's just really hard. Do you have anything more to say about that?
Not really. It's just like we'll wait and see. It said it was releasing. It said potential for 2022. Keeping our ears out for more info on it, but like you said, not high hopes.
Yeah, not high hopes. Go in with no expectations, and then like it can only get better from there.
Yeah.
In other news, TSMC, which is a silicon manufacturer, they are experimenting with putting integrated water cooling directly on their CPUs, which sounds incredible because that's a solution you could have benefited from.
Shut up.
That's a solution you could have benefited from heavily in the last couple weeks.
Yes.
Do you want to tell the chat what happened?
So, I bought I bought a Cooler Master white water cooler for my PC, and Evan came over to help me install it. But through my ventures of Binding of Isaac binges, which could go on for hours, I would almost all the time neglect looking at MSI Afterburner,
which is not necessarily a bad thing, but like I at least like touch the case and see if it's hot. Like that's like
I do that too, but like I hit like the pan. I would touch the tempered glass. I wouldn't like touch the other side. So it's like Regardless, at some point, my PC got so hot, it liquefied the thermal paste in between my CPU and my cooling system, and it like seeped out the sides and essentially welded my CPU to my cooler. And so when Kevin removed the cooler and handed it to me, I look and I see the CPU just sitting on it. I was like, huh. And there were a bunch of pins bent. Kevin spent a while because I was too scared because my big meaty gorilla hands, I felt like I was going to break one of the pins, which I found out after taking a second look. One of the pins did break, so I have a $250 piece of metal.
Actually, it was $325. It was worse than that.
Oh.
Just want you to be aware. But like,
so yeah, right now I'm waiting to hear back from AMD about my warranty claim, and hopefully they'll replace it. If not, I gotta get a replacement.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. But like that stuff happens, and that's why like I usually religiously check MSI Afterburner. Like I check it all the time.
Yeah, when right before Kevin left that night, I had said, "Well, Kevin, I'm sorry. You're no longer my best friend. MSI Afterburner is my new best friend."
But like, yeah, that's just unfortunate. And I'm in the position where like I usually don't need to worry about temperatures anyways, because one, I have a really good cooler. Like it's 3 fans, 360 millimeters. And I have, I don't know how many in the case right now, but I have like at least 5 other fans, other than the 3 attached to the cooler, in my case. And it's also a mesh case, which is like really good for cooling. So like, I really don't have to worry about cooling whenever. But like I still do it just in case. But yeah, that's unfortunate. And just gotta check the temps from here on out, and we'll see what we hear back from AMD.
Yep. Open for the best, prepping for the worst.
Open for the best, prepping for the worst. Oh,
oh boy, this one's fun.
what is the next one? Sorry, I looked away from the dock.
Police in the Ukraine busted crypto mining ring with a $260,000 electric bill.
Oh my god, people have talked about, like, I've been hearing for months and months and months, like ever since like Dogecoin like exploded. I've been hearing like people talk about the long-term ramifications of the environmental impacts of cryptocurrency mining.
Yeah, no, like people, like countries are cracking down hard on it.
Well, that's why, like, China, especially, is, like, that's another big country that's, like, going crazy with cryptocurrency, like, regulation at the moment. I think they banned Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think they outright banned it, because they're in an energy crisis at the moment because of all the cryptocurrency mining. Because they get, the way that a lot of China gets its electricity is from coal-fired power plants, which are already horrible for the environment. But when most of that electricity is going towards, not most, but like a significant portion of the electricity from those plants is going towards crypto mining, that is not good. And this was from a single building. This was from this $260,000 electric bill. That's from a single building.
Yeah, they had a whole setup.
That is so bad for the environment. That is insanely bad for the environment. But, like, people just want to chase the crypto dragon. They want to chase the profit margin. So, yeah, I'm glad. I'm actually glad.
Crypto dragon. Oh my god, that is a brutal turn of phrase.
I am just I'm not glad necessarily that they're going to jail or getting like punished by the law for this. But I am glad that a large mining operation like that is no longer a thing, because like I am actually fairly concerned about the environmental impacts of large scale cryptocurrency mining operations. So I'm glad that that's no longer happening. In other words, a modder on Reddit was able to get Fidelity FX Super Resolution working on Steam VR games, which increase your FPS in Steam VR, which sounds incredible. This was done by a single person.
Half-Life Alyx already looks good. Imagine the Fidelity FX.
Yeah, because that would mean that you could potentially play it on like lower tier hardware. Like, I'm interested to see like what you could do like with like Fidelity FX on Half-Life Alyx. Like, that sounds incredible. All you gotta do is just download this source mod from this Reddit guy. Like, it sounds amazing. This was created by F. Holger on Reddit. Which, kudos to you, man. You should be very proud of what you've done here, and I think I'll be trying what you've done. Do you wanna do the next one?
Yep. In more tech crime news, truck driver smuggled $120,000 worth of Intel 10th gen CPUs. As a joke, I typed those B's and I almost said Bintel because I'm an idiot. But
it's actually even worse. Click on the article. This guy didn't just steal them; he stored them on his person. He stored.
Oh my lord! And it's actually $123,000.
Oh, okay. I had the total wrong. So yeah, he stored $123,000 worth of Intel 10th gen CPUs on his body through airport security.
Absolute insanity.
Which, like, that is commitment. That is something.
I'm scrolling down and it has a picture. It has the pictures.
Yeah, the dude has them like strapped to his ankles and his leg, like.
Yeah, it's like a money belt.
You gotta admire the dedication, but like.
But that literally is a money belt. That is bank right there.
But like,
jeez.
I honestly have zero. I kind of have zero. Like, sympathy for this guy stealing this much stuff.
Absolutely.
Especially considering we're in a semiconductor shortage at this point, like him taking that much stuff, that could $123,000 worth of CPUs, that could go to a lot of people to help them like create workstations that they need. And like someone just taking those, like it just appeals, like my PC gamer blood is just like it's just boiling at that. But it was impressive nonetheless. I'm impressed with the feat.
With defeat.
With defeat. I was just gonna say that. In other words, Sabrent, the SSD manufacturer, created a SSD bay that is able to store 4 different 8 gig NVMe storage drives. So for a total of 32 gigabytes of NVMe SSD storage. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of this thing. Yeah. This thing looks incredible. Hold on, let me see if I can actually.
Patiently wait.
Patiently wait.
While he's looking that up, we got a little tech rumor spreading. Intel Ice Lake Xeon W will have 38 cores targeting AMD Threadripper.
But yeah, this is the whole shebang. I think I'm showing it to you guys. I don't know for sure.
I'm watching the video. It doesn't look like I see it.
Oh wait, I had the wrong thing. Whoopsie me.
I'm waiting for it to pop up.
I think it's there now. I think it's good. Can you see it in chat?
I don't think it's there. No.
All right, whatever. Anyway.
Unfortunately, yeah. We tried to show you.
Oh, wait. I got it. There it is. Look at that thing. That thing is a big chungus. That's a PCIe controller. And it looks like you're actually able to store 8 SSD drives on there.
Yeah.
It's 4 terabytes.
Okay, but it's the same thing. Not 4 8s. It's 8 4s.
It's the same amount of storage, yeah.
It looks like what a graphics card would look like if you just took all the bells and whistles off of it. It looks like an original graphics card, if you will.
Essentially, like the old one you had. You remember that? The little
Yep,
ancient Vision Tech one you had from AMD.
it's sitting in my attic,
Oh lordy, lordy, lordy.
which is one room over from me. I live in attic adjacent.
Attic adjacent. That's true. But yeah, that thing is a big chungus, and I'm pretty excited about that. In other news, wrapping up the tech topics, Intel is in talks to buy AMD's former fabrication centers, probably because they want to strike back against the Empire, so to speak, or like if anyone's the Empire, I think it's Intel. But like AMD's been winning for a while now, and I think Intel is looking to.
So you were right. Then in this case, this would be the Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. I confused myself with that one. And lastly, in sort of tech-related news, someone has created a 22-year-old Bitcoin entrepreneur announced a free speech phone for Trump supporters. What this is essentially is the youngest Bitcoin millionaire, Eric Finman, has created the Freedom Phone. It is the first mass marketable phone based on free speech, according to him. It is supposedly running on a version of Freedom OS. And the main source of downloading apps, of course, is the Freedom OS store. Essentially, this just seems to be catering to Trump supporters, and I don't see the market in this, and I think it's totally gonna die out after a year or two. I don't see this being a success in any means.
See, the last recently, when this was tried at the beginning of July, the Trump team had a new social media platform.
Parler, right?
Or
is it a different one?
It's Getter, Gettr.
I've never even heard of that.
Well, it was flooded with hentai. So, yeah. My boyfriend, this is a quote, this is a tweet. My boyfriend finally got onto Getter and showed me that the QAnon hashtag on it has been hijacked by users posting hentai. One of the users' names is, quote-unquote, child porn.
Oh.
So, trolls are going hard to get Getter just in the gutter, gone for good. So, that's...
They're torrent launching on it. They're rating the app.
Exactly. So I don't see this Freedom Phone going very far until stuff like that happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's only now the timer has begun. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes for it at all. I think the real Trump agenda. Nice one, Violet. That's a good one.
Oh, Violet, I don't know if you were here, but I dropped the Gabe Cube that you mentioned like years ago.
Oh, the Gabe Cube.
Because we were talking about the Steam Deck, and I was like, I'm still waiting for that Gabe Cube. Before we go into gaming, I'm gonna do my, like, anime is probably gonna take like 10-15 minutes.
Go ahead.
So the big one thing, and this is also in ties with what to watch or game, or watch/play. Beastars Season 2 is now in the West on Netflix. All of Season 2 has been released. I personally was very surprised by Season 1. I watched it with one of my housemates for like, we'll try it. We'll see where this goes. Let's watch an episode or two. And then we just binged the whole first season because it gets intense. It was wild. So yeah, Season 2 of Anime BoJack Horseman is out. Take a look at it. I'll probably watch some episodes. When they were talking about like it coming out, anime communities that I'm in on like Facebook and online and stuff, they were saying it's not gonna be as good as Season 1 just because of the arcs covered. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt, Avi, but like, can't hurt. Sad that we have to let Season 1's intro go because it was done by the same band that did the first outro of Jujutsu Kaisen. Both of them, 100% bangers. So good. Just in the past few days, it has been confirmed that JoJolion, Part 8 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the manga is confirmed to end in its August issue of Jump. It has been running now for, I think it's actually, like, once the last issue releases, it will be 10 years exactly of serialization of just Part 8. It's been running since 2011, which is nuts. I started reading it probably like in 2019, maybe late 2018, but oh my goodness, it's come a long way.
That's a big deal.
It's been really cool to, yeah.
It's an end of an era.
Yeah, and although there's no rumors or anything of Part 9, although Hirohiko Araki, the mangaka of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, has been writing it in trilogies. Parts 1 through 3 were the Stone Mask trilogy. Parts 4 through 6 are the Stand Arrow trilogy. And so we're probably going to get one more part in this new trilogy, which I don't want to name because spoilers for people who haven't read the manga and that are waiting for the now announced Part 6 animation, which I am so excited for. It looks so good. This week's chapter of One Piece, I read it like this morning. It had a collaboration with Where's Waldo. I'm not kidding. They did a Where's Waldo, like, you know how like the old Where's Waldo books, you have 2 pages and it's just a spread of just a mural and you have to find him. They did it with the current like large-scale fight that's going on in One Piece currently. It was so much fun. I found Waldo. I found him. But,
oh yeah, dude.
Like, what a timeline, man. This is animes are collaborating with Where's Waldo. I just thought it was so funny.
All right, let's get through some other topics here.
I'm so sorry. Speaking of One Piece, its most recent episode that came out this past Saturday, episode 982, it put One Piece to #1 on trending on Twitter, and that's the only social media platform I know about how much it was trending. But it was
probably trending on YouTube for a little bit too. If like things are a good indicator,
No doubt.
if it's trending on Twitter, it's probably trending on YouTube.
No doubt. But it was, the director of the episode was the same director of I think 957, where people like were like, "Oh my god, the animation in this was incredible. It was like a movie." And this director came back for a big reveal of new characters in this arc. It was watching a movie in 24 minutes. Toei Animation dropped a fucking music video in the middle of the episode for characters. It was so entertaining. I was literally like jaw dropped the whole time. There was not a moment where I was like, oh, okay, like I understand that. No expenses saved. They cashed all their chips in for that episode. It was incredible.
Violet said they saw it on Tumblr.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's insane.
It's a pretty big deal.
All right. Well, I mean, for me, that's really all of my news.
All right.
Anime.
I figured we would talk about, we're going into gaming now. I figured it was good to mention EA Play Live starting next week on Thursday, July 22nd. What we know is going to be there is more Battlefield 2042 gameplay. Apparently, Battlefield 2042 will have crossplay, but it will be split between current-gen consoles and last-gen consoles. So,
interesting.
So
Okay.
PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5 will play on one server, and PS4 and Xbox One players will play on a differerent server.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's
but
interesting that they decided to do it that way.
If they have the data, like the data fields to manage that, sure. It keeps it like.
This is DICE. This is DICE, who is no stranger to like massive multiplayer matches. Like, they've made how many Battlefront games at this point? How many other Battlefields? Like, they know what it takes to manage servers.
Yeah.
So I have faith that they know how to do this. Also, there is a rumor. Keep in mind, a rumor that EA is planning to announce a Dead Space reboot. Which, if that happens,
I know. No, I know you just said it's. Keep in mind, it's a rumor, but now my heart is like fully set on it the second you said that.
Because like, if they announce that, that's going to be my most anticipated game of the year, probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Dead Space 1, I forget when it was published. I think it was back in like probably 2007 at this point. I think. But imagine reliving the entire Dead Space adventure in 2021 with modern graphics capabilities.
It's gonna be horrifying.
If it's as scary, keep in mind the original studio no longer exists. But if it's somehow as scary as the original, like this will be like my probably most favorite game of the year if it comes out in 2021. But keep in mind, take it with a massive grain of salt. Like, it is just a rumor, but I would very much like to see that. Also, a rumor that has now been debunked. We were expecting to possibly hear something about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2. However, it has recently been confirmed that no Star Wars games will be making an appearance at EA's event, which is unfortunate, but we know they're working on Fallen Order 2. They just need a little bit more time in the oven before it's able to be revealed to us. And as usual, there's the typical yearly Madden NFL reveal, so Madden NFL 2022.
On that note, there's also an unknown sports game coming.
I'm interested to see what that is. The EA themselves labeled it as a sports game surprise. Which, if it's like, hey, we took out microtransactions, that'll be the best surprise of the year.
Oh yeah, everyone will be like, yes, yes.
Yes.
Me out. Backyard baseball.
Dude, I would buy day one on that.
I'm calling it now. It's backyard baseball.
EA Sports, it's in the game. I would buy that day one. Like, I'm not usually a fan of sports games. I don't remember the last sports game I bought, but like I would buy that day one if it was backyard baseball. There's also an indie game showcase. We're supposed to hear from a lot of indie developers there, at least that work primarily with EA, and not sure what else to expect, but be sure to tune in July 22nd at, I believe, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that. But July 22nd, next week on Thursday. You want to do the next one?
Sure, yeah. So I was actually gonna take it even even if you said I'll take it. A new Super Mario Brothers speedrunner just set a new world record while blindfolded, mind you. He beat the previous world record by almost 3 minutes. Previous blindfold world record for Super Mario Bros. Completion was 14 minutes and 46 seconds since 2016. But speedrunner Crescendo has set this new record at 11 minutes and 55 seconds. Yeah, that's less than 10 seconds shy of like cutting 3 minutes off. That is insane. This is a blind run record, meaning that this is just mechanical memory. This is just brains at work.
That is a much more skilled player than me. I could never hope to achieve that.
You know, I consider myself a real gamer as opposed to what I said about 40 minutes ago on stream.
As a fake gamer.
I consider myself a real fake gamer. And then I see stuff like that. It just makes me bummed. I'm like, oh.
There's like probably better than average gamers like us, and then there's like god tier gamers.
Then there's gamers like us, and then there are real gamers.
Then there are gamers that like basically aren't human.
G gamer.
Gamers that basically have evolved past human form. So that's insane. That record, like, props to the new record holder, and congratulations. In other words, Xbox head Phil Spencer says the gaming industry needs to come together to preserve the history of video games. He says he doesn't, basically his reason for saying this is, well, let me say the full quote first. He says, "I really wish as an industry we'd come together and help preserve the history of what gaming is about so we don't lose the ability to go back." That's the full quote. And the central prose of his statement is he doesn't want to lose the ability to go back and play older games that are on consoles that are no longer available, which is a totally valid argument that I can absolutely empathize with, because think about like how, you know, like you can no longer go back and play like not so much in the case of the N64, because like if you get a Nintendo Online subscription, you can get a you can play a lot of N64 games, but like with the exception of emulators, there's really no way to go back and play old titles that are no longer supported. Because like I actually want to buy a PS3 for the purpose of being able to go and like play games from my childhood, games that I grew up playing like as a middle schooler. Because like on the PS3, like those are some of my favorite games still to this day. And the fact that one day, like, it's depressing to think about the fact that one day I'll no longer be able to play them, because like one day eventually all consoles will fail, because machines do have an end of life cycle. Like eventually all PS3s, all GameCubes, even like that's even more like disheartening. Eventually,
I don't want to think about GameCubes finally biting the can.
Eventually, all like DSs, Game Boys, all these consoles will no longer be operational because they will just like stop working one day, and that is very depressing to think about. So I totally understand where Phil Spencer is coming from, and I totally agree that we need to preserve the history of gaming, for not even for ourselves, but for future generations to see where we came from.
Yeah. And that, like you mentioned it earlier, but Nintendo's honestly, they've got a great, they've made the great first step where I feel like in an ideal world going forward, Microsoft and Sony will release similar things where, say, if you like buy the online, say like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold, you have access to collections of like Xbox and Xbox 360 games, or well, you can still kind of play 360 games. Well, not really anymore, because it's like that's 2 gens old.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I actually think Phil Spencer is the one person who can criticize other people for not like he didn't accuse anybody, but for not preserving the history of games, because Xbox has done a frankly remarkable job at making their consoles backwards compatible with older generations. The Xbox Series X and S are fully compatible, well, at least the X. The Xbox Series X is fully compatible with select titles going all the way back to the original Xbox.
That's incredible.
They've done an amazing job at maintaining backwards compatibility and legacy status for older consoles, and it's
literally legacy status. For sure.
It's like inspiring, really, to see like how they've prioritized keeping like in mind where we came from, and like games from like the previous generations. Like it's very good to see that like they're taking seriously the idea of preserving the history of gaming. And
Sony, please take note. Oh my god,
please take note. Sony is not like so bad. Like they're better than they've been, because at least they have PlayStation Now, so they like have like the ability. You have the ability to go back and play a select few titles that were available.
But that's like a select few like of the breaking the what's the word I'm looking for? Groundbreaking games. A select few.
Yeah,
groundbreaking games,
the most popular games.
Yeah, but like. Everyone growing up has that one game that's like no one's ever heard of, but it was one of their favorites as a kid. Like me, it was Shamu's Deep Sea Adventure for the GameCube. I loved that game. You played as Shamu, and you had to run away from a kraken, dude. It was wild.
For me, I think.
Have you ever heard of that?
I actually have not heard of that. My favorite game, I think, on the GameCube, if I had to pick one, was probably Ultimate Spider-Man for the GameCube. I think that was my favorite. Mostly just because I love Ultimate Spider-Man. And as a kid, you're like, oh, everything looks great. You go back and play the game. Oh, it looks like dog water today. But like, the nostalgia factor is there.
Dad, you can't play Chibi Robo.
That's something that Nintendo should actually get on. Like, imagine how many people. That's something that they're probably gonna be forced to do in the future too. There have been so many people that like one title that they want for the GameCube to come to be ported to the Switch is Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door.
Absolutely. Also, speaking of, I just happened to look at chat. Violet, still have your Wario World? Get it back to you someday.
Oh my god.
Someday.
You just brought up so many memories.
Oh yeah.
You excited for the new one coming out?
It's kind of, it's a WarioWare game, right? So it's another like a mini
WarioWare
games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wario World was like a not an RPG. I
guess you consider it that.
It's a 3D platformer. It's like stretched. It's like you can like walk in circles type of thing.
Yeah. Anyway, good on you, Phil Spencer, and I hope the rest of the gaming industry adopts your view. In other words, Switch pre-orders are now. Switch OLED pre-orders are now live. But with everything,
good to know.
But with everything we've said so far about the Steam Deck, that doesn't seem like the best use of your money, at least where we're concerned.
I think
not gonna judge where you want to spend your money. It's your money. Do what you want with it.
Like I'm pretty sure I mentioned last week, when we were talking about the news of the OLED. If you have like a launch Switch, it does not have the dock, like undocked, like in handheld mode. It has an awful battery compared to like
I
newer
think
models.
I
so,
think
like, if you have a launch Switch, I fully understand and respect your decision to get the OLED because it's a full upgrade.
Or especially if you have a Switch Lite and you're upgrading from that, that's even more of a reason too.
But it said WarioWare is a 3D beat 'em up platform collectathon, and I agree 100%.
Oh, so it's Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of 2.5D. It's not quite 3D. Yeah. Not judging where you want to spend your money, but like in at least my opinion, probably Jared's too. I consider the Steam Deck, like, at least right now, we haven't gotten our hands on either of them yet, so at least right now, on paper, even though it's more money, the Steam Deck seems like the better value.
Yeah, last week where we were saying we did nothing but shit on the OLED. I keep almost saying no LED because that's what we talked about.
You're like,
that's what we named
no,
last
Tendo, no.
We said, even though we talked so much shit about it, we said we're probably going to pick it up. Now that the Steam Deck has been fully announced, I don't know if I'm going to pick it up.
I'm not. I'm definitely not. I'm out. I'm out. Too risky for me. I'm out. Shark Tank.
This is, like, to double back to what we were saying earlier, this was Valve's 4D chess play, their master plan.
Like,
they literally... we were like, I might get this, even though I have a Switch already, but it'd be a cool upgrade. Next week, this comes out. They're like, oh, see, now I want to get that instead. And all of the eyes just turn, and it's not gonna get nearly as much as it would have.
Because, like, the only thing that was binding me to it was, like, oh, the Switch is the only, like, handheld that you can get that's supported by, like, a major manufacturer. And I'm like, oh, I guess, like, I gotta stick with the Switch, and I might as well get the better one. So, like, that's why I was, like, thinking about it. But, like, to be honest, the only reason I have a Switch is because of the exclusives. Especially now, because this thing is coming out.
Exclusives now! Mario Golf! It is incredible! It is so well done.
I actually haven't tried it yet. I might pick it up in a little bit.
If you pick it up, I'm coming over after stream.
But yeah, Switch OLED pre-orders are now live. They're selling separate cases as well. In my opinion, you should get a Steam Deck, but like, it's you choose what to do with your money and spend it wisely. You don't want buyer's remorse. I have such buyer's remorse already, and I haven't bought anything yet.
So, in horror game news, Resident Evil Reverse has been delayed until 2022. Now, what Resident Evil Reverse is, it's essentially an online multiplayer. It's a multiplayer game
set in the Resident Evil universe.
Yeah, in the Resident Evil universe. It's kind of like Dead by Daylight, which actually also just got a Resident Evil expansion.
Which is odd that they would make a separate Resident Evil game if they were just going to put skins in the Dead by Daylight game.
I think they're different skins. So I think it's Leon and Jill.
Okay.
And
it's been a while since we've seen Jill. It's been a while.
Yeah, it might be Leon and Claire. I would assume it's Leon and Jill because they're two of predominant characters from the two halves of the Resident Evil story that kind of do this as the series goes on.
Honestly, I kind of like the next Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 9, if that's what it's called. I don't know. It's hard to predict these things, especially with Capcom. I would kind of like to see Jill again. Jill and Chris, like maybe like a hard reboot to 1. Like maybe they give 1 the treatment they did with 2.
Yeah, maybe this time. How many times they've done? Yeah, the Resident Evil 1 HD remaster, remake HD remaster. Oh my god.
Oh wait, we know what
they've dragged it through the mud.
We know what they're working on next. Actually, I forgot about it because I kind of wanted to. They're doing a remaster or they're doing a remake. They're giving
of 4.
They're giving
fully confirmed. They haven't fully confirmed it. What they did was they said it was a. Forget the exact words. It was they're working on something to do with Resident Evil 4. They were like a Resident Evil 4 remake. Now, whether that's still coming or the Resident Evil 4 remake in question is the port of Resident Evil 4 and the remaking and remapping to Quest 2, which is coming out fall winter of this year.
Yeah, but that's not really a remake, it's just a port, right?
Yeah, so it's up to suspect because you just have to like you said, it's not really a remake
because it's same visuals, same story, just a little bit better resolution.
The lines are so blurred there. It's so tough. Now, the way I see, because it's Resident Evil 4 is my favorite video game of all time, so it's a really tender subject. But another buddy of mine from school, who's also like it's one of his top games of all time. He's played it easily twice as many times more than I have. So like I am the fake Resident Evil 4 fan here. Another
out of the two of you.
Yeah. Okay. Out of the two of us, yes.
Because you were the least fake Resident Evil 4 fan I've seen. So
fair. Thank you. That compliment means more than you'd know. I know. Okay. So we're talking about it, and best case scenario, they remake it and make it like the 2 and 3 remakes have been, in the same style and play style and looks. At best case scenario, it's fantastic, and we
like
have
getting rid of the one hope. I think that they were like they're hoping is in it is they get rid of the tank control system that 4 had. Like imagine aiming, but
it's very clunky. Especially my friend played it on PC just recently, for the first time, and they're like, "Oh my god, the controls are so clunky." And like, yeah, I've played it easily over 10 times across every single console I've owned, that I'm just used to it.
Except the Switch.
I never really think about it. It's like I suffer from nostalgia glasses when it comes to it. I was like, oh, it's not really clanky, but then I was sitting as I was watching and seeing how much he was like struggling. I was like, oh my god, yeah, this is awful.
You're
The
just
controls are so bad.
used to it that like you don't
So
notice
used to
it.
I know what my hands have to do to maneuver. But best case scenario, it's fantastic, and we get to see our baby boy Leon Scott Kennedy in the light of 2021, 2022's graphics. And on the other hand, if it's bad, we still got the original game. It is still worth playing over and over. It's so fun.
Yeah, but like Resident Evil Reverse.
Yeah, Resident Evil Reverse online multiplayer. We took a bit of a tangent there.
I wish they would just stop trying to make Resident Evil a multiplayer thing. It's not meant to be. Just stop.
It's not work. It didn't work in Operation Raccoon City.
Just stop.
I mean, it only worked. It really only worked in 5, where you could play 2-player co-op campaign.
That's not multiplayer though. That's not online multiplayer. That's like couch co-op.
Online multiplayer. That's local co-op.
Yeah.
It's a complete difference.
Like it's
That's
different
the
if you
only
want
time...
if you want to play through the game with one friend, that's like acceptable to me. But like if you're playing with like in a multiplayer Call of Duty style Gears of War match, like it's just not it for Resident Evil.
I will say the screenshots of Reverse when they came out, like showing what the game could be, they're pretty funny to look at from like a fairly faithful Resident Evil fan throughout the series. Like you see Jill up against Jack Baker from Resident Evil 7, and you're just like, and this is funny. This is just a meme.
Yeah.
The screenshots were funny when it came out, but I honestly don't think I'm gonna be playing it.
I definitely won't be. It's just, like yay, Resident Evil Reverse, woohoo! Like, yay. Do you want to do the next one? I don't have much to say about it other than mention it. It's just cool.
Yeah. So before I start, I will read this. Mario-themed edible arrangements. That's it. That's everything.
That's the whole story. That's the whole story.
That's the whole story. When I was scrolling through the doc, like adding stuff that I wanted to add, I thought this said Mario-themed edibles, and I was like, bro, why is this important?
Okay,
like,
Nintendo really going out there now.
The legal states are just going sicko mode. Oh, like this Starman, and just alright, that was just funny to me because I like my eyes deceived me. I was like, wait, what?
But yeah, if you're
that's the whole story.
If you're looking to send like an edible arrangement to someone for a special occasion, why not make it Mario themed for the gamer in your life? It'd be cool.
Pretty cool. All right, this is actually what we're about to talk about, is the actual headlining topic of this talk today. Screw the Steam Deck. We're talking about Nickelodeon's Smash Bros. Clone. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Let's go. Evan, what are your thoughts on it?
You know, just like
I mean, so you're not the biggest Smash fan,
I'm not.
player,
Like
so,
it's
so this really doesn't matter to you. Another conversation, because I'm in a group of a couple friends from school, and we talk about a lot of stuff like gaming and stuff. So I get a lot of other insight coming into these talks with you. One of them had a really good point that it's gonna be a Fall Guys, where it's gonna be really popular for a short period of time, and then it's just gonna drop off.
It's gonna be a Smash Bros. Clone, and Smash Bros. Is gonna be the only one that's left. One, because they have so much DLC, and if you're like an avid Smash Bros. Fan and you bought all the DLC packs, you're already so deep into that, you're not gonna go invest in another fighting game. Might as well stay there. It's just like, why did they even attempt this? They know they're going to lose.
Now, see, I mean, it looks fun enough. Me, personally, I'm gonna get it just for the sake of knocking somebody into the sky as Nigel Thornberry. That coming out of my mouth is just...
Yeah, but like that's... The value you're mentioning is meme only. It's not for like long-term value. Is doing that... Okay, Jared, I'll humor you. Is doing that alone worth $60 plus tax?
We don't know how much this game is going to cost.
It's
but
going to
do
be
not-
$60. You watch. You watch.
Do not underestimate the lengths people will go to for the meme.
$60 is steep for meme budget for me. It's just. Can Nickelodeon just bring back Danny Phantom so I can just be done?
Please! Oh my gosh! No, Danny Phantom is in this game.
I know he is, which is even more to my point. Like, just do it. Just do it. Like, just bring him. Bring the show back for one season and send it off.
So, and I heard some other news about this Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. I need to, I think I found the paragraph of this article that I need to read. Press release for the game says there are 20 levels, including Jellyfish Fields from SpongeBob SquarePants and TMNT's Technodrome. The game has single-player and multiplayer modes, with the latter offering both local and competitive online. The online has attracted considerable focus because it features rollback netcode. This is the preferred option among fighting game enthusiasts and is basically a predictive algorithm that guesses what players would do during minute connection lapses. And if it gets it wrong, will roll back the game to the point before the connection dropped and resume play. So, this is this specific bit of information that it's using rollback has Smash Ultimate fans reeling, because it's going to have better online capabilities than Smash Ultimate.
That is a big plus. My rebuttal to that is, okay, and Mortal Kombat 11 is a game that came out in 2018 and it has the same thing.
The issue is they're like Smash fans are like, Smash Ultimate doesn't have it, and it's this high of a AAA fighting game.
Yeah.
They're so mad that this out of left field Nickelodeon Smash Bros clone is going to run better online than Smash itself. So I think it's so funny.
Hey, that's
like
that's one more reason to get the Switch OLED and get that LAN port integrated. I'm sorry.
So yeah, me and a few friends are gonna be picking this up and just having fun with it. It's a silly addition to the game.
Let me know how it goes. I might try it once when I'm over your place and then never touch it again. Yeah. All right, you want to do the quick fire ones?
All right, here we go. Quick gaming news. There was a copy of Super Mario Bros. 64 sealed. Still sealed
brand
in this
new
case. It just brand new, sold for $1.5 million. That's a lot of change. That's a lot of gold coins.
It's a lot of scratch.
Luigi. Wait, no. Hey, I'm wearing green. I'm the tall one. I'm Luigi. You're wearing red, bro. I didn't even plan this.
And I have the green screen.
I don't know how that fits into the Mario algorithm.
I'm in Luigi's shadow. Because you're tall?
Okay. Okay, yeah, I understand. I was just like, oh, okay.
Okay, it was that was my own bit of 4D chess there. In other words, in other auction news, Legend of Zelda for NES has sold for $870,000 at that auction, which is all these retro games, man. Like, people still, like, collectors, they're like huge collector. I was talking to Maddie about this, and I was like, too bad Jared doesn't have any of it, original NES games still sealed, because I was like, you'd be making bank right now. You could pay for a new house with a sealed NES game right now.
Yeah, I have no sealed NES games.
Shame. I mean, games are meant to be played, so it's really whatever, but it's just cool to think about.
So is this next one? It's also sealed, I'm assuming, brand new.
No, this is pre-owned. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
So okay, let's enlighten the chat. Skyrim for the Xbox 360 sold for $600.
So
what?
I read the article about this one, and the first word was literally just why. Because why? Because Skyrim is a game that is literally everywhere. They have ported Skyrim to so many things. It's on the Switch. It's on the PS5.
Samsung
it's on the PS4. It's on a smart toilet. Like, Skyrim, it's on Alexa. Alexa doesn't have a screen. Like, it runs on so many things. Why do you pay $600 for it?
Why are you buying 10 new Skyrims at launch, November 11th, 2011? I remember that because it's 111111. Thank you, Tobuscus. Why are you buying 10? You bought one for the price of 10 on launch. It's ludicrous.
It's
No,
insane.
stop.
I don't like the person who paid for this. I'm just like, why? Why would you do this? Unless you're like a collector and you just love Xbox games for the just ha-has.
Did you buy it from Todd Howard himself?
Like, is it signed by Todd Howard? Even then, it's worth probably less. It's worth $6 then. Like, I would pay money not to have Todd Howard sign it. All right, that's just one thing. Like, don't buy Skyrim for $600, man. Like, that was not smart.
Guys, chat, don't listen to me. Don't buy Skyrim for $600.
It's on Steam. It's on Game Pass for like free, but like Game Pass is like $15 a month for the Ultimate Edition, $10 a month for the basic. Like,
don't buy Skyrim
buy
for
that.
$600.
That's a whole ass paycheck. Come on.
That's a whole ass console.
That's more than a console. It's more than a PS5. It's more than the console they bought it on was worth. Sorry, rant over. In other news, the Final Fantasy 16 story is wrapped. It is finished.
It looks so good. It's a return to like it looks like much darker than Final Fantasy 15 Summer Cruise in the
I still haven't finished 15. I still have to finish 15.
Neither have I. I mean,
I gotta finish it.
It looks much more like medieval,
look gritty,
like nights
like very
and stuff.
dark.
It looks, yes, gritty and dark. I'm honestly very excited for Final Fantasy 16. So this just means that like it's one step closer to coming.
I think we're still a few years off. I still think 2023 is the earliest we can expect that. But
I was about to say late 2023 into sometime 2024.
Probably, yeah. But I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I've gotten into Final Fantasy.
This one I want you to talk about because you're our resident Witcher boy.
Oh, this is cool, I guess. I mean, I didn't expect.
It's really neat.
I didn't expect it, but like the Witcher 3 next gen upgrades, so the ones that will be coming to PS5 and Xbox Series consoles, will include content from the Netflix show, which I thought was cool. And
it's really cool that, like,
someone who's happier than anybody, I guarantee you, is Henry Cavill himself.
Henry Cavill himself.
He's like, dude, I'm in the game. I'm in the game. Cause like, dude,
he's such a nerd. And I love Henry Cavill so much. And like the only reason like Witcher happened was Henry Cavill was like, I want to be Geralt, and Netflix was
if you want just
we gotta make him Geralt.
If you want just like a feel good story, just like look up his audition process for Geralt, like for the Witcher role. It made me smile. It was so great. But yeah, that's all the gaming news we have. We're moving on to our last segment of the show today. First, I'm gonna do TV releases that have just come out. So in the past week, we have had Shark Academy Season 1 premiere. That's on Discovery Plus. We've had The Real Housewives of Potomac Season 6 premiere on Bravo.
Shark Academy.
Don't know what it is.
I'll have to look into it. I heard sharks in my ears.
Assume another shark thing. Shark Week. The special is on Discovery this past week, so go catch that. Wellington Paranormal Season 1 is on the CW. The White Lotus Season 1 is on HBO. Love Island UK Season 7 is on Hulu. Gunpowder Milkshake, that sounds cool. That's a movie apparently. It's on Netflix.
That doesn't sound tasty though.
No, but that's a badass title. I like that. Loki Season 1 finale is on Disney Plus.
I need to binge all of Loki.
Good Trouble Season 3 is on Freeform. American Horror Story American Horror Story season 1 premiere is on Hulu. Apparently they're rebooting American Horror Stories.
I have to look into that. I'm a little confused.
I don't know. They may not be rebooting it. It may just be coming to Hulu. I don't know. Doctor Death limited series is coming to Peacock. Such a funny platform, Peacock. Oh, Peacock, you silly streaming platform. I mean, they have The Office, so I mean, can't be all that bad. Never Have I Ever, the complete season, complete second season is on Netflix. And today
also, that was another thing I saw. Our high school buddy Cody at the
Fear Chapter
the
2
red carpet for
Fear.
Never Have I Ever.
Oh, really? He was in Fear Chapter 2 or something like that.
Yeah, Fear Street
1978. Yeah, Fear Street 2 1978 I think it was. And lastly, coming out today, we have Lizzie's Story season 1 finale on Apple TV Plus, Making the Cut season 2 premiere on Amazon Prime Video, McCartney 321 limited series on Hulu, Shimagoon, I don't know how to say it, but it's on Apple TV Plus.
Let me take a look at it. How far down is it on the list?
It's all the way down. It's under July 16th. Fear Street Part 3 1666 is on Netflix. And
I'm gonna say that's Schmigadoon.
Naomi Osaka, the limited series, is on Netflix as well. And I'll let you take the movies.
The third Fear Street's on Netflix now?
Yes.
Oh, word.
I'll let you take the rest of them. I'll let you take the rest of the movies. So just
you were doing movies that whole time. LOL.
Oh, I'll do the rest of the movies. Then you just do the games.
Yeah, I'm not gonna scroll down and waste the time.
Casanova Last Love. Now we're doing movies. Now all of them. Casanova Last Love is out. It's not that great, but that's my opinion. The Works and Days of Taeko Shojiri in the Shiotani Basin. That's out. Space Jam: A New Legacy is out. It looks kind of cool, but go see it for yourself. Form your own opinion on it. Roadrunner, a film about Anthony Bourdain, is out. Pig.
Oh, I might have to watch that.
Yeah, that seems interesting. Pig. That's just it. It's Pig. Is out. It's an R-rated movie about a truffle hunter who lives alone in the Oregonian wilderness. So that sounds out there and weird, and it's kind of cool. Out of Death.
Knowing 2021, I thought it was going to be some like mockumentary about cops.
Out of Death is out. No Ordinary Man is out. The Night House. Mama Weed. That sounds fun. How to Deter a Robber is out. The Hidden Life of Trees is out. Great White, as in the shark, is out. Escape Room Tournament of Champions is out. That doesn't sound great. Die in a Gunfight is out.
I do want to see it.
Die in a Gunfight is out. Can You Bring It? Bill T. Jones and D-Man in the Waters is out. And lastly, The Boys in Red Hats is out. So those are all the movie releases this past week. So go see those if you're interested. And Jared's going to wrap up the show with game releases the past week.
It's like 7 or 8 titles. 4 days ago, we had Claire de Lune for PC. That's a nice piece of music. We have Curved Space for the Switch. Where the Heart Leads for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Sounds like another indie title we gotta cry at, Kev.
Oh, sounds great.
Lost at Sea on PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. And today, FIFA 2021 on...
That's F1 2021. Different. It's not FIFA. F1 is
I don't know why. For some reason, it...
Auto-corrected.
It was like FIFA. No, F1 2021 for PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X consoles, and PC. Observer System Redux for PS4 and Xbox One. Space Jam: A New Legacy.
It's also a game. Have you seen the controller?
No.
Oh, dude, you gotta see it. It's kind of sick. There's 2 of them. There's 2 editions. I gotta show you them.
I'll have to look at them, and that's going to be a Microsoft exclusive. So Xbox Series X and S and
sick.
Xbox One.
And the big one.
And then lastly, today, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD for the Switch.
Also, limited Joy-Cons have released for Skyward Sword.
And amiibos.
Yeah, that's true.
And the group chat I'm in is at base. It's a Legend of Zelda group chat. Today has been like as this has gone on, and like earlier today, hundreds of messages.
Apparently now
going wild for it.
Apparently not only is it HD, but apparently now you can skip cutscenes.
Which is one of the biggest downfalls of the original Skyward Sword, the original Kingdom Hearts, which they fixed in the remaster. Oh, great.
Sounds great. So yeah, that's everything new that released. So go watch a show, watch a movie, play some games. And that is all from us.
I can't put it any better myself. Time for this real fake gamer to sleep for 6 days and 23
hours. 22 and a half hours.
Yes.
So that's all from us at JK Amusements this time. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be right back here same time next week with the tech, gaming, anime, and movie TV show nerd news. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.